Please tell me you're
Do you
not
have a
getting
blue-
any French fry ASMR.
No, we are not. Hi,
Yeah,
we're
we're
back.
not kidding.
We are not getting French fry
Do you have a blue screen of
ASMR.
death that automatically plays?
Okay, that was fun. Gotta love my whole, wireless network adapter shitting out on me, dropping the stream, the Twitch channel, the voice chat, and just generally making my whole computer need to be restarted.
I mean, good thing right after a break, though.
Yeah, we hadn't really gotten into anything important yet. The person in the church leads Pascal and Aradia into the catacomb-like structure that is this ancient part of the church. If either of you are interested in the architecture that you had been seeing in the First Era ruins, this is fairly similar to it. You are still above where you were at the deepest part of the chasm, but you're getting down in the depths of First Era buildings here, and
Getting down and jiggy with
it. They lead you to this tiny room that's it's chilled, the air is dry. They say you cannot bring fire into here under any circumstances. It's basically
somewhere in the distance, wildfire shivers.
I almost made a really bad joke about my mixtape.
You didn't make it, but I'm still gonna say boo.
So, this tiny room is just stocked with some books that look like they might fall apart at the slightest touch, but hopefully won't, scrolls, loose papers, and it's all not organized in the slightest.
I'm actually gonna turn to the person and be like, there's a preservation charm on those, right?
They're like, probably. If there is, I didn't put it on there, so...
Well,
be careful. Try not to destroy anything. If you do, I will hold you and the Adventurers Guild accountable for whatever you destroy or damage. And then they just, turn and leave.
What?
various scenarios are going through my head about how to get out of that if it happens.
Time travel.
Up to and including assassination.
I mean, time travel is the correct solution.
So, libraries aren't really Pascal's thing, but I guess you could just start looking. I mean, basically,
I look for a directory.
There's a current events section. If there's some equivalent of I don't know, our local library saves newspaper things.
Give me an investigation roll.
Investigation.
Both of us are just
4.
Oh dear.
I rolled an 18 for that directory.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my loose plan again. Multitasking sometimes works. With a 4, looking at all of these, rows upon rows of books, scrolls, loose papers. There does not seem to be any rhyme or reason to how they are put on these shelves, and you find one piece of paper that looks like it might be a sort of newspaper, but it's not filed with any others, and it doesn't happen to contain what you need. Aradia is looking at this with some slight.
Hold on.
mm,
You're cutting out again. I heard him and that was it.
Oh dear. Is it better now?
It's not you, Freeze.
Okay.
Ashley, I think your connection might be the one go in.
Yeah, you were kind of cutting out when you were saying that I was cutting out.
Alright, one sec.
It is almost 10 o'clock, I realize. We might finish up this scene and save interacting with this necromancer for next week. If that is alright.
That's fair.
Yeah, already.
Yeah.
I can hear.
Yeah, you can hear me?
I mean, my audio was doing that last time, so
I can
yes.
hear you. So, I think the problem is solved. And, with your 18, where Pascal is just, like, pulling things off the shelf, randomly trying to figure out if there's some pattern to how this is laid out, you're looking at it and realizing that there kind of is. It's just more like there are 3 systems and no one's been maintaining any of them.
No, sorry, my mom again, but wow. Here, wait. If you want, well, no, never mind. Keep going.
Okay. So you know, it's a lot of guesswork and luck, but you are able to identify part of a shelf that seems to be from somewhere in the era that you are looking for. And you identify another place that might also contain some things, but you would need to look at it closer to actually look at the dates on some of the things on that shelf.
Alright, then I'm gonna point Pascal to that shelf, and then I'm gonna look at the one that's for sure.
Okay. Let's do another investigation roll to see if you can find what you're looking for. What exactly are you looking for on this? Looking for specifics on a guy falling from the sky? Or
Just probably any strange happenings near the we now see as the chasm around then,
okay.
including the guy.
Okay.
10.
Woohoo. Maya, are you also rolling for this to look at the other shelf?
Yeah, I got a 5.
Okay.
Oof, oof, oof.
We are kind of struggling here, but that's okay. You find amid articles about, you know, people just, it's like a newspaper almost in a lot of these cases. One of them seems to be a travelogue, which would be fascinating, except that it isn't what you're looking for and might not in fact interest you. Margot would probably like just about die if she saw this. But you do find an account of somebody new in town who seems a little odd and like they aren't from anywhere that anybody is quite aware of. It's like local gossip from 900 years ago.
Freeze, I hope you know the phrase "new in town" set off my fight or flight as I started to recite the whole John Mulaney bit in
Okay.
my head.
Sorry.
I'm just like, I am gay, I am homeless, I have AIDS, I'm new in town. So this is what I'm picturing that person as.
And you aren't terribly wrong. I don't know. It seems like there was some local judgment around that, but then also the person who was writing the article seems sympathetic to this new person. And, yeah. There is no mention that you can find of anyone, dropping out of the sky. But you did find something that seems a little suspicious, a little connected to what you're looking for, and it does give you a date. There is a very specific date, which doesn't mean much to you because of the calendar shift thing. But, a date's a date.
Can I call the acolyte or whoever back and ask them if they can give me dates to look for surrounding this one? If I don't know how it works.
Okay. Basically, their dates still go in, the chronological order. They just don't correspond neatly to the dates in your current calendar. So if you find a date that has the same month and another day, you'll be able to identify that that was the same month, another day, and the same year.
Oh, okay.
You just can't have Howler plug that date specifically into the time travel device because it won't take you to the right time.
Okay. Then can I keep looking for other things within that year?
Yes.
Narrow it down a bit?
Pascal finds a, fascinating obituary for someone, but it is absolutely not connected with your investigation at all. It just distracts them for a few moments.
How did they die? What did the obituary say? You can't say shit like that and then not have something for me.
I'm thinking, okay? I'm thinking. This was a local person who was a head designer on the wall that surrounds the town that is mostly in ruins now. But there are some towers left on it, and that's what makes up the main gate. And this guy was riding his horse so fast through the gates that he fell off. And just outside town in the area that is now the search was just farmland at the time, and he fell on a fence post and got impaled after falling off his horse.
I'll take it.
You are not in this room right now.
No, I mean me as Emily.
Okay, you'll take my bullshit explanation?
Yes.
This is probably part of the reason why there are no horses allowed in Old Town. I'm just kidding. This has nothing to do with that.
They named the law after him.
There might actually be a road in the search named after him, which might have been what caught Pascal's eye to begin with.
If you'd like a idea of our bizarre death, there was one in 1994 that I know of that I could look up.
I just wanted like some like Darwin Award-esque thing.
Riding your horse way too fast, falling off, and getting impaled on a fence post. There you go.
Yep.
That's what I've got for you.
I rolled an 11 for that continued searching, by the way.
Okay.
So just slightly better.
You are able to find a second journal entry this time from somebody that confirms the first story and has some interesting speculation that this person isn't from anywhere nearby and yet seems to have a knowledge of the city that makes it seem like they've been here much longer than they have.
Time travel.
Yeah, which suggests to you time travel, but
What's their name?
catching me on this one again. God's damn it.
I thought you were about to say ketchup.
Let me run the mental name program.
You should probably just start having a piece of scrap paper with a bunch of names on it for session.
Yeah, I do mean to make a list of names that would be common in this part of the world. I just haven't gotten around to it because I am in fact a lazy DM.
Hey, that's valid. You're valid.
I'm a lazy player. You're good.
Let me just plan the whole session in the 6 hours before we play it, even though I've had 3 weeks to think about it and have not, in fact.
Oh, mood?
What do you think my sister and I were doing with her physics homework?
Take your time. I'm just looking at candles.
For a second, I thought you said you were licking candles.
I have eaten a piece of wax out of a candle before.
That's a new one. It does not surprise me.
I could have sworn that Grant told you about it.
Nope.
Oh, well, I just outed myself as a idiot.
I did look up that death, and I found the newspaper clipping on it if you want me to read it as part of an intermission.
One, I love that too. I just came across this candle, and they're like D&D inspired, and this tropical one is called Chainmail Bikini.
Bikini mail? What the hell is bikini mail?
Phrase. Name. Sorry. Go.
The name is Deimos Mydrin. I will type that out.
You actually thought of something that makes sense. I was hoping to get a goof.
Nope.
Alright, then I think I'm gonna leave Pascal to look that up here, if she wants to. And I'm gonna go look for more recent records of that name.
Okay.
You said that person was the time traveler, right?
Yes.
Not the...
Deimos
Okay, cool.
Mydrin is the new person.
Alleged time traveler.
A possible time traveler.
Right, I just wanted to make sure they weren't like writing in their journal about a possible time traveler. Because then looking them up would be like not helpful.
Yeah, no, I knew what you meant when you said what's their name. It's the name of the person who is weird, who you want to look into.
Yes.
Sorry, I need to.
Should I roll for that?
Okay. Note has been taken. So Radia's going to look for a more recent mention of Deimos Mydrin.
And and I'm looking in the library, correct?
Yeah, you're looking in this records room.
If you want to look for something else, I wouldn't mind. I just figured I'd look more recently.
I'm a lot better at religion than investigation, so is there any way I could bring that into this? Maybe, like, I don't know. I know that the people working at the church didn't seem like too keen on helping us with their search, but like if I could like talk them into it or something, they might have more luck finding something here than I could.
You could probably do a religion check to determine whether or not the more recent records that Aradia is looking for would be stored in here. Because you would know a little bit about how churches keep their records, especially this one that has changed hands over many years. It's so removed from any specific denomination that you would probably be able to figure that out.
I'll give it a shot. That's a 17.
Okay. As you're looking around in this room and hear that Aradia wants to look for more recent records, you are absolutely certain that recent records are not going to be something that's kept in here. They would probably be kept upstairs, more easily accessible to current staff, and it would probably be useful to go ask about that instead.
Can I say I'm glad you rolled for it, because I rolled a 1.
Oof. You're picking apart another shelf thinking, oh, more recent must be higher, or something totally illogical in the moment like that.
Just in the rafter.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Rip.
Oh, I thought it was you again, Freeze.
No. So are you going to go ask about this other records room, or gonna let Aradia keep looking in the rafters here?
Oh, I figured. Okay, no, I'll head upstairs and start asking around about that.
Okay. You managed to find.
Can you mention to me as you go by? So
Yeah.
You managed to find the same acolyte that you were talking to earlier, and they look at you and they're like, "What did you find? What you were looking for?"
Particularly, we were hoping to check more recent
like
records.
Within the last 50 years recent, or more recent as in the last 200 years more recent?
am I with Pascal,
Probably.
or am I still searching that room?
I figured. Yeah, I told you. right?
Yeah, she told you you can have come with her if you want.
Yeah, probably, since we weren't having a ton of luck.
Yeah.
Let's check out like the last 50 years. Is that what we're doing?
Is that what you're
I think
doing?
that makes sense. I would assume so, since the chasm happened so recently.
Um, she says, okay, we keep those just in the back over here, and they lead you to this other back room on the main level where you entered, and this room is actually well organized and even has a table for studying whatever you're picking off the shelves. And they're like, everything should be organized in here by date. Earliest is on the left, most recent is on the right, loops around the room. Good luck. And then they just, like, leave again.
Cool.
So where do you begin?
Is there, like... Are there, like, birth records here?
Yes. That is definitely a thing which a church keeps.
You could probably look for the name there to see if there's more information.
Okay, make an investigation roll.
Gosh darn it. 8.
8.
The dice really don't like you today.
They did until we were doing something important. As is always the case.
Good news is, this was a relatively low DC because everything is actually organized in here, which does give you a, advantage, not the mechanical roll twice type, but a,
Right.
story-wise, you are more likely to find what you need in this room. You start on the right side in more recent things and find just within one of the shelves labeled by year a record of the Mydran family, and it has a family tree within it, but there is no Deimos listed.
Does it have any other information? Like, where was he born in the city, or?
Well, there is no information on a Deimos Mydran, you just have information on other people with that name. One of them does stand out to you. It's a Sir Oris Mydran, who is a knight, apparently, but probably not who you're looking for.
Would it be reasonable to think that they would know Deimos?
It's possible.
Alright, then I'm gonna just keep that in the back of my head in case we need to investigate it.
Okay. Is there anything else you're going to look for while you're here at the church?
I'm just gonna mention the name to the acolyte and see if it rings any bells.
Okay. The acolyte gets this, like, sort of confused look, like they're kind of wondering why you're looking into the Mydran family. And they're just like, they've been in town a long time. Most of them have been at least upper class, if not nobility themselves. Don't see much of them, though.
Oh, now we
Where do
gotta
they
hunt them
live?
down.
What did you just say? Sorry.
You're fine. Where do they live?
I don't know off the top of my head. Probably on the other side of Old Town. Possibly out in the country somewhere.
Alright. I have no idea how to continue this investigation unless we go back to the old record room. How about you, Pascal?
I feel like we could spend days in here and not get any further. I don't know. I mean, like, Pascal doesn't have a criminal background or anything, but there's this thing where, like, when you're working with, like, someone you don't trust, so, like, a scam or something, like, you give them a knife, you turn your back, and in a controlled situation, of course, you, like, just to see what they do, see what their plans are, like, see if you can trust them. And, like, maybe we could pull something like that if we make it clear that we're out here investigating a cult and, like, that sort of thing. Maybe we'll get an occult assassin coming after us that we can, like, interrogate or something. I don't know, I'm just thinking of ways we can solve this by, like, bashing heads, since, like, this library is, like, frying Pascal's brain right now.
Well, I don't exactly mind messing with assassination attempts. So we can ask the acolyte to spread around that we're looking into the... We can have them
Sure.
spread around that we're looking into Hugo Arnon and Deimos Mydron and possibly the Chondrus. I don't think we should talk about the time people just because that might invite more trouble than we're looking for. But
Just make some noise, not be
yeah.
subtle about this.
Okay.
We can
Freeze is
stop
like,
at the
oh no.
we can stop at the thief bar to spread it around too before we meet up with the others. Because I don't think we're gonna
You're just
be
gonna
able to
make
narrow
this
anything
decision
down
without
until we get more
talking to the
information.
rest of the party?
I think we should talk about it tonight. Like, maybe they'll discover something important, but I don't think we'll find anything else here. Certainly not with the success I've been having.
Yeah, I think we would need more uh, streamlined information in order to figure out where to look and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm officially done at the library.
Same.
Okay. Then we will wrap up our session here for tonight because it is almost 10:30 and I don't want to spend another hour at this jail, which I would like to flesh out more anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That is our episode tonight. That is our session. Questions, comments, concerns before we get off for the evening?
No, not really. It's fun to play again. I'm happy I got to be here.
Cool.
Are we gonna make Tuesdays at 7:30 a thing then?
I would like to.
I can commit to that.
Would
That works
probably
for
make
me.
my planning motivation a little stronger to actually know when we will play next.
That works for me.
Yeah, really, anytime works for me. So
Yeah,
Cool.
sounds
Then
good.
we will be back same time, same place next week.
Alright,